Welcome back to Round Rock, Texas. Texas is on the pitch and ready to go against Maryland. Both teams 3-0. Brad Woznicki joined alongside now by Ashton Jean Lewis. And Ashton, coming into this match, this is all about who wants that automatic spot in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, two of the most illustrious collegiate programs overall. And if you look at Texas on their sideline, their head coach is Simone Lorenz of Texas Cavalry. He is a two-time reigning national champion for that team, and he is trying to lead Texas back to the promised land as they got to it last year and came up short in one of the biggest upsets in U.S. Quidditch Cup history as the University of Rochester Thrustrels ran onto the pitch elated and excited as they were national champions. And Texas, in Round Rock, Texas, comes up just short.
Always want to do well in your home state. Maryland coming out of the Mid-Atlantic region. Texas, of course, out of the Southwest region.
And if memory holds serve, they've won 3 Mid-Atlantic championships in a row. Maryland has produced some great players, and of course we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the funniest man in all of Quidditch, Mike Madonna, who is constantly all over the place when it comes to trying to push the sport forward in his own unique brand of humor, but one of the best players that Maryland's ever had.
Texas with 3 titles of their own, and coming into U.S. Quidditch Cup 12, a record of 20-7.
That is, I mean, that was a well-placed tackle on the part of the Maryland Terrapins, as they were able to find the side angle to hit that chaser out of bounds, forced a turnover, and now they got a line shift coming in here, and let's see what the approach is going to be. Will it be a little bit more speed or a little bit more power as we see them walk onto the pitch? I think that's number 21. That's Mac Morgan, chaser and seeker, unique combination there.
Good bludger play there from Texas. Right now, Maryland backpedaling there with the quaffle, still able to keep possession of it.
And you'll see this come up. Are they going to call it? Yes, they are. Double reset. Not only did Maryland retreat behind half pitch, they retreated into their own keeper zone after leaving it already, and that will trigger a quaffle turnover, and Texas might have a run at the hoops here, but there are bludgers to the left-hand side of that chaser. Swift movement there, kicked it out to the right-hand side.
One thing you like about both of these programs is the fact that both have played in their fair share of tournaments leading up to this year's Quidditch Cup. You had, for Texas, the Breakfast Taco unofficially. Also had Diamond Cup, A&M Classic, Heroes versus Villains, Alamo Cup, and the Southwest Regional. Then on the Maryland side, the Turtle Cup. Also had the Regional Championships, the Founders Cup, the Clash in the Capitol. And then, of course, the Let's Get Ready for Nationals.
Main edition. As there's a lot of these tournaments that pop up towards the end of the season when teams need certain amount of games to qualify for nationals, to make sure they get those responsibilities taken care of so they can be out there. As we got a nice move from Maryland here. They have yet to get into the keeper zone of the Texas Longhorns. Not only does Texas extend out with great chaser defense, they have great effort on the part of she looks slightly familiar. Her name is Kylie McBride. Her big sister, Erin McBride, is one of the best chasers that Texas Cavalry has at their disposal. Both of them have a soccer background, as there is a nasty tackle by the University of Texas as they're about to score a goal that gets tipped in, and that one should be called good.
And Maryland thought they had the goal. There was no immediate signal there that one counted. Mac Morgan trying to score it.
And if Texas didn't need any more connections to the success that Texas Cavalry has had, a lot of those alums were a part of that 3 straight championship run. As Simone Lorenz, their head coach, walks onto the pitch for the first time here today. Texas, like you said before, they've been on fire. They've got 3-0. That's a goal for Maryland, and they get on the board for the first time here today. It got tipped in accidentally on the part of number 2, Dylan Bottoms.
So credit the goal to Mac Morgan, co-captain for Maryland. We're all even at 10, just over 3 minutes gone by.
And since we're talking about Texas, had a key injury come up. John Anderson, who was a big member of the Outlaws, long, lanky kind of guy, around 6'5". He tore his ACL this season. He is out. He was the starting keeper last year for Texas and would have been so this year as well, were it not for that tear on ACL.
Bit of a wild shot there.
2 back-to-back wild shots, and Dylan Bottoms is off of his broom. And we might have a stoppage for a late release could be the case here. We are live in Round Rock, Texas, and significantly warmer than it was yesterday, Brad. Although you're still smart and got yourself in a blanket. Nice move.
Shout out to Jenna. The blanket has come through in the clutch. Game changer.
And as you see on the sideline, Maryland looks like they got a couple of subs in here. Mac Morgan not bringing the ball up the pitch. That's the first time we've seen that today, with the quaffle in his hand, as they're looking for an opportunity. They're trying to separate the beaters. So you'll see here the beaters will attack down one side and the quaffle will go the opposite direction to get chaser on chaser play. A nice deflection and a gang tackle again by Texas.
Oh,
and
nice
a quick
grab.
Run. Yeah.
Luke Meisner, the keeper, looking to take it the other way. And Maryland able to get some bodies back. That'll slow it up for Texas.
And Dylan Bottoms, and that's kind of a product of the beaters doing their job too well. They beat 3 players and sent them back to their hoops, and they were there waiting for Dylan when he got up the pitch. But, hey, another possession for the Longhorns. Kylie McBride, number 15, playing well there at the beater position.
Had a wrestling match going on there for a moment to try and get control of a bludger.
That's Tate K out there. He was also played in that national championship just a year ago. Dylan Bottoms drops the shoulder and finishes there. As you hear Texas with the Texas fight. A little unfamiliar for an assistant head coach, co-head coach for University of Texas. Dylan Bottoms scored that one for Texas. Am I mistaken? Oh, that's Luke Meisner, sorry.
So now, how does Maryland respond?
As I was saying, Josh Andrews on the sideline, for UTSA alum, University of Texas San Antonio alum, co-head coach for the University of Texas this season, also starting seeker for Texas Cavalry. Maryland slowing down significantly here, Brad. They're waiting and picking their moments. A bludger just flew by. They pick one up, and now Kylie McBride's turning on the pressure, and she gets warded back. Can she hold on to her bludger?
I like the motto that this Texas team lives by. Quidditch isn't a perfect game.
You got to be able to live in the chaos, because Quidditch is itself, at the root of it all, a chaotic game. A nice shake on 2 chasers and a beautiful dunk. Oh, man.
Woo! What a finish.
Trying to see who that was.
Looked like number 5 for Maryland, not listed on our roster.
Man, that is a top 10 type play, ladies and gentlemen. Day 2. I see somebody recovered well when they got home last night. As some of the teams out here, including my team, the Houston Cosmos, we did not leave the Round Rock Athletic Complex until 1 o'clock in the morning last night because of the scheduling. Games being pushed back 5 hours yesterday, Brad.
Heard there was a few too many people at Whataburger last night.
Hey, never a bad place to be. And
no.
And I tell you this much, Brad, after the national championship, we all know where the party's going to be.
That's fair. Everybody have the right idea. And will that one count?
There's some question as to whether it even went through the hoop, it seems, from Mac Morgan. And the officials huddling up very quickly. Looked like a lot of people had a good angle on it, but for some reason, maybe that's what the hesitation on the call was. Some people not feeling like it went through based on their perspective. Texas looking to increase their lead. Josh Mansfield, by the way, member of THC Heat, formerly of LSU Quidditch back in the day, one of the ARs out there, one of the best head reps that the Southwest has to offer. Texas always brings a crowd, ladies and gentlemen. And surprisingly enough, Brad, here in Round Rock, Texas, seeing a lot of Michigan Quidditch fans, man. They are very accustomed to the temperatures that we're dealing with here today, and I see a lot of alums that bought VIP tickets for Round Rock. Very impressive, the kind of showing the Wolverines are having out here today.
And Michigan definitely trying to represent their region, give the support, because, down here, you've got plenty of Texas support. Trying to take out that home crowd feel.
And I want to say they're trying to say Mac Morgan was beat by Kylie McBride just before he scored that one. And like you said, that beautiful image last year when Rochester was named national champions after Mike Pascatoy, who now is the seeker for ATL Tournament, it's a community team here. After that situation, the entire region people who were not even fans of the University of Rochester, the entire region where Rochester was from, swarmed the field because they knew that they had done something that a lot of people didn't even think was possible. So much of what Quidditch is about has been centered around the city of Austin, with Texas Cavalry coming up with so many wins. Now THC getting a lot of wins as well. And then the University of Texas, 3 consecutive national championships and producing so many Team USA players along the way.
Yeah, with the collegiate success that Texas has had, then you go right into community play. And look at it right now, the Heat coming out of Texas, one of the top teams in community play. Of course, Texas Cavalry up there as well, looking to defend their title. It's going to be a good opportunity here.
And under mentioned storyline, Augie Monroe going for his 10th world championship. Unheard of. The LeBron James of Quidditch is what we like to call him. He finds it awkward when you call him the GOAT in Maryland with a nasty slam. They have met the physical nature that the Longhorns have been presenting with gusto. I'm very impressed with that.
Now that's the Cleveland LeBron James referring to, right? Not the LA Lakers LeBron James?
The one that, only one. I guess he's the Wilt Chamberlain of Quidditch.
Okay. And Texas with possession of the quaffle, going to get it into the hands of Luke Meisner. Good hesitation there from Josh Johnson, making sure Texas had what they wanted.
Luke's got Dylan Bottoms to his right-hand side over here, and then now in possession of it is Casey Beavers. And attacking, you see the Beaters attacking from the side over here. That's Tate K attacking from behind the keeper zone for Maryland. And actually, we might have a reset infraction, and the bludger might go to Tate K, and it does. That just flipped bludger control. That was a huge call. An illegal re-entry of procedure, and it turns the bludger over. She's off broom for now, at least. She'll tap right back in, but nonetheless, this is exactly what Texas wants. You see how close they are to the hoops. They've got the ball in the hands of Dylan Bottoms, who has been known to be taken down, and his best ability is his ability to pop right back up and continue it almost as if he wasn't even taken down to the ground. And that persistence is what really drives the Texas offense forward at all times.
Maryland, a program that's been around since 2009. Texas since 2011. Both fighting for a spot in the quarterfinals.
And you'll see Texas take every advantage possible when there is a stoppage to huddle up and have a conversation. Tate K has the bludger inside the keeper zone. Quick pass over to the right-hand side.
Yeah, nothing there. Just good one-on-one defense from big number 21.
And he slips down. Oh, no, they're not going to call that one. They're going to say he was down cleanly, and now Mac Morgan forces the turnover out of a bludger turnover situation. That's impressive for Maryland, and that just comes down to good chaser effort.
Haven't seen a ton of fast breaks in this match, and I don't expect to see any.
As Tate K is getting worked by the Maryland Beaters. He throws one bludger away to force it out of play, and now Maryland is already behind. It looks like they're going to call net contact. There's no doubt about that one.
Delayed call coming up as this one's going to sail out of bounds.
Maryland's going to get that ball right back, and there's going to be a UT Longhorn going to the box. It might be Dylan Bottoms. Josh Mansfield with the quaffle in his hand, bringing it back over. And Maryland, nothing comes easy in this game, but being down to chaser is always tough, as we've seen Maryland finish a couple of dunks here today, Brad. Oh, my gosh, you feel that? There's no wind right now. And as I said, a little gust comes by. Round Rock looking beautiful. It actually looked pretty nice yesterday. It was just really cold, and now you can see the beautiful hill country in the background here in Round Rock, Texas, just a couple of minutes outside of Austin, Texas, which, one of the most fun cities in all of Texas itself.
So I've been told. Checked out the University of Texas on Friday. Going around that campus, check out the football stadium, the baseball stadium.
Baseball team's looking pretty strong here today. I know they played Kansas State on Friday. Don't know what the result out of it was, but usually Texas finds their way to getting future MLB players on their roster in some way, shape, or form. As you are watching U.S. Quidditch Cup 12, this is Maryland University the University of Maryland taking on the University of Texas. Both of these teams known for their consistent excellence in terms of victory Mid-Atlantic Collegiate champions are the Maryland Terrapins. Tate K, as you see him, number 7 for Texas. He throws that ball back. Kylie McBride and the UT Longhorns have bludger control. Kylie takes a graze on the leg, and it's called clear. And now Maryland's trying to seal off the beaters out of the play. Maryland being forced backwards almost towards half pitch. They are operating so well in such a small amount of space, and good beater protection for Mac Morgan.
Just to add to your question a moment ago, Texas did win in baseball yesterday 10-2, so they're going for the series victory today. Here's Maryland trying to go up the middle, losing the footing there for the moment.
And a nice spin up front by Kylie McBride to get away from Maryland's really persistent number 6. He's doing a pretty good job out there getting in the face. It's Davis Rowe. I'm sorry, no, that's not Davis Rowe. That is actually Zane Bahala. And now chaser on chaser defense here, yeah. We are almost at the 10-minute mark. And Texas still has not pulled away in this one, tied up between these two teams, and the possessions have been tough. Tate K in a literal dogfight at mid-pitch and comes up with the bludger. Now Maryland teetering out of bounds. Yeah.
Way too much on that pass as he was looking for Abby Potter.
That was a near 1-minute possession, and, that was almost a no-bludger situations that Luke Mesner was looking to take advantage of, but couldn't get out there in enough time in transition.
The humor from Abby Potter saying in her bio, not related to Harry Potter. A little shake and bake, but unable to finish it.
And the Chasers are beat out. They'll have to retreat back on defense. And Maryland doing a good job despite the beater pressure coming from Texas. And then on top of that, the tight chaser defense from the UT Longhorns still finding a way. And this will be interesting. Now we have a full line change, a full change of the beaters and the chasers. Can they keep up the consistency we saw from Mac Morgan's group when he was out there? Change as well for the UT Longhorns. They'll send in Jack Wang for the first time today, number 11. Coming around the perimeter, Jack is going to be down. 2 bludgers are down. One of them is now in possession of Maryland. Maryland just flipped bludger control on offense. A huge movement that they can pull off here if they can score and maintain bludger control, take the lead, and set themselves up well for defense.
Reset up top, now get some spacing along the outside.
And they just got the switch that they wanted. They now have their starting chaser. Yeah,
little fake and goes near side.
That has got to be an adjustment. And Simona Rentz comes off the bench, and I think he's yelling at the official or he's yelling at his defense. They cannot switch that. They cannot switch Mac Morgan onto a wing chaser off the left-hand side. Getting your point defender off their best chaser is always going to end badly for any defense.
1-goal game, 12 minutes gone by.
Movement here, possession by Grayson Briggs. Back up top, that's Michael Johnston Jr., played a year for the Boston Knight Riders, one of the best teams in all of Major League Quidditch. The kid's got mad talent, number 22.
Currently in his 3rd year playing.
Nice deflection.
Had a bludger play there. And at the other end, that time, that's big number 22, Noah Rindock.
Noah doing a good job of keeping his head up and not getting distracted by the defender, keeping his eye on the prize, and that's getting that goal. Each one of these is a huge possession, and we've seen 3 minutes go by. Maryland's gotten 2 goals unanswered versus the University of Texas. They're starting to lock down that middle of the portion of the
Definitely
field.
Starting to feel a momentum swing here for Maryland. The thing is, Texas is still within snitch range. These next 5 minutes going to be crucial.
Man, Texas just got forced to use their one and only reset, a new rule added in. Jack Wang just missed his beat. And now Kylie McBride's going to have to run that one down. Kylie, not tired yet, has not taken a single second off. And Texas trying to get away from that one tackle, but still not able to find that crease as the beaters have bludger control. They can split the field in half. Nice throw, and it looks like bludger control's now with Texas. That was a poor way to lose control, but hey, it happens. Briggs trying to find an opening, attacking off the side. Can he draw that beat and get a pass out to his teammate is the question. He's getting close, and she still hasn't thrown it yet. Nice throw
deflected
behind.
And finished.
Beautiful effort.
Able to get that one through the defense to find space behind the hoops and score it. Great execution.
And then good teamwork on that one. Good vision and awareness from the UT Longhorns. First goal in quite some time for UT, and man, bludger control goes back to the Terrapins. There's only one bludger in play right now. The other two are off screen in possession of Maryland.
Waiting for the screen.
Good roll by Briggs to get away from that
And
screen. And
immediately
nice throw.
beaten was Abby Waters.
Michael Johnston in the open field. That's bad news for Maryland. They don't have a beater back. They're going to be in some trouble.
And Johnson bumped there, just enough to throw him off a little bit. Jarrett Knipple in front of him.
Maryland is about to get called for interference. That chaser was beat and then threw his arms up in the air in an unnatural motion to throw the bludger away for Kylie McBride and actually towards his own keeper zone. You got to be a little bit more clever with that. You got to try. See, the secret is, and this is, kids, I don't condone cheating. I condone you playing the game to the fullest extent. If you're trying to dodge a bludger and it just so happens to spin off your arms that are flailing in the air and it goes towards your own keeper zone, most of the refs aren't going to call that one, but you get beat on the shoulder and then throw your arms up in the air like that chaser just did, they're going to call that one. That's
textbook. A little bit like a flop in the NBA.
It's a textbook. It's textbook flop because you're trying to one, get the ball away from the beater, and then two, get it to your own beater. So, I respect the hustle, but you got caught.
14:52 gone by. We're only about 3 minutes away from snitch time. Remember, both of these teams are going to be into bracket play. It's just a matter of which one of these teams is going to get that automatic spot in the quarterfinals.
Kylie McBride with a nice pump fake there. Gets the ball back to Jack Wang, who's coming around the edge. They're trying to get both of the beaters for Maryland to shift to one side, but they refuse to do it. They're kind of splitting the field in half, and Michael's looking for an opening, but he can't draw two beats from two different beaters. He's got to find a pass and an engagement. He's got one, and it's a nice catch by Jack Wang. Let's see if Michael can come up with something. A nice kick back to her partner as well, Kylie McBride. Soccer background helps out a lot.
Substitution going to be made by Texas coming on. That is Richmond Keeling.
First time we've seen him today. Oh, he's going 1.5 here. See, can he get to it? And he does. He gets to that bludger, and it's blocked.
Wow.
Beautiful effort from Maryland.
No.
The first one for sure was a complete rejection. The second one, did it go through?
Little Dikembe Mutombo there.
Yeah, they still got it.
Wow. So not denied. Put that one on the board.
And coming in and making an instant impact on that play. That was a great 1.5. That's Richmond Keeling, who came in, threw his own bludger back so that he makes sure that they had at least one coming back and attacked the only beater who was hanging out by her hoops. And that's how you destroy a beater-led hoop zone. Almost textbook style. And it's a great effort and a great hustle, and it turns into a goal immediately for Texas.
Maryland looking for some space up top. We're all even at 50. Nearly 16 minutes gone by.
Oh, and Texas is collapsing in, and they're playing heavy help defense. You can see they're not even defending anybody outside the keeper zone. That's bad news. Driving in is going to be near impossible when they've got three chasers up front.
Now Maryland is going to have bludger control.
Good vision.
And finished by Abby Waters, but then we got multiple whistles.
The officials see a lot of head refs in that.
Goal is good.
That's a one-goal lead for Maryland. And it looks like Texas is going to call their timeout, Brad.
I want to talk things over. 16:09 gone by. Texas in front by a goal. Don't go anywhere. Back here in Round Rock, Texas. 16:09 gone by. We're less than 2 minutes till snitch time in a tight game, 60-50. Texas in front of Maryland.
And UT's going to have a full line shift here. Michael Johnston Jr. is going to come out. Kyla McBride's going to get her first rest of the game. And I have a strange feeling she's getting the 1 minute that is going to elapse between now and when the snitch appears onto the field of play. And then she'll be in for all of snitch on pitch.
Well, trying the spin. Well defended. Now trying to go right back to the spin. Looks to be Aiden Parsi. Yes.
Aiden made the Austin Outlaws last year. Guy's pretty good. One of those guys who's, when he gets taken down, pops right back up immediately. Nice shift.
Slips through, spins. Aiden Parsi putting on a clinic.
Aiden was one of the few guys who was able to be successful last year in the national championship game versus Rochester. So he clearly is getting better as time goes on, which is what you expect out of the University of Texas with such a strong alumni base to help them train. And then on top of that, a long history of success. They know the recipe to cook up good players, and Aiden is an example of that. And as the game starts to go on longer and longer, we get closer to snitch on pitch. Each one of these goals is becoming more and more valuable, Brad.
Right, this is a big possession here from Maryland. They'd love to get it back to a one-goal game, trying to avoid being right on the edge for snitch range.
And if they can hold on to it until the Seekers enter the field of play, they are going to do that, because as soon as they have the quaffle, one of their beaters is directly in the line of the path that the Seeker for Texas is going to have to take to get there. And I wonder if that's David Huber out there.
It is David Huber.
Yeah. David had one of the best snitch catches I've ever seen. He gets beat immediately. Maryland on the attack.
Trying the reach around attempt. It's going to be quaffle to Texas. Now, one thing you notice, both Seekers have the size advantage on the snitch. Definitely going to go around with that reach around attempt or try and go over top with the length.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was going to say Texas has got to get on that immediately. There's no question as to whether or not they're playing the snitch play, Seeker play. They're now defensively seeking because they are – we have an injury or a chaser scrum, can't determine. They're pointing over where the snitch is, which means it could be a beater foul, which in snitch on pitch, going down even 10 seconds without a beater is going to be detrimental, massively detrimental.
Potter down there along with Aiden Parsi.
And this game, Brad, could very well about to get very boring. The beaters don't go clean up that chaser scrum over there. They're just going to wrestle with the ball to allow the Seekers and the beaters to fight for it. Aiden Parsi's going to get stood up. Potter's going to get stood up. Okay, so they're going to get them in a defensive position. They could also go down immediately right as soon as the whistle gets blown, which is exactly what they do. Yeah. So it's going to come down to David Huber coming up with a catch, and
Huber trying to go with the left hand, then trying to go over top, reach around, unsuccessful. Nice work there by the snitch to create just enough separation. And then going sliding by was Huber.
And we mentioned one of the best catches I've ever seen Huber have. It was to beat Texas State. Huber runs the perimeter of the field off the right-hand side and power slides in on one knee and pulls the snitch from behind. So let's see if he tries to pull that one. He might have
does he have a snitch catch?
They say, the snitch just mouthed it was a two-handed catch. He's going to call impeding on the arm because Huber went in with his left arm initially and then came around with the right and pulled it off. He's going to call that interference, and they're going to put the snitch back on.
And there was no argument there from Huber afterwards.
Aiden Parsi might be getting, and it's off camera, Aiden's talking to his head coach, Simone Arenz, and he might be telling him, hey, pick it up and score it real quick and see what we can get out of this, because if Maryland, it's a 2-goal game right now. So if Aiden can get that ball loose and score, it becomes a 3-goal game, and then maybe they can focus on quaffle play a little bit more, trying to extend out the lead as Huber's getting closer and closer to pulling this snitch, because that interference is interference, but a snitch is going to call that all the time, but it was pretty close. He got exactly where he wanted to get, and it wasn't his arm that got him where he wanted to get. It was his positioning and his lean over the snitch. David Huber, his backup is typically John Anderson, who's at 6'4", going out there. We mentioned him earlier, tore his ACL, out for the season. I'm interested to see, do they send in Michael Johnston Jr., who I've seen seek before, to follow this one up. And it looks like David Huber's still on Broom, and they're about to drop back down again. Let's see if Aiden tries to pull that one loose. He does. He's now he's trying to wrestle the Quaffle loose to see if he can get a goal out of this one real quick.
Huber playing defensively. Going to make things brutal now for the Seeker.
And
for
Huber,
Maryland.
oh man, he got pulled off his broom right when he turned around on the snitch.
Not a bad strategy there, trying to catch the snitch off guard.
And you see the advantage. You talk about the size advantage that both of the Seekers have, how useless that's been so far for both of them.
Good bludger play there, giving Huber more opportunity to go one-on-one.
Snitch very confident, also making sure that he's a moving target.
The Seeker change coming on for Texas is Jaden Gilstrap.
Did he get beat immediately? Is that what happened? Aiden's about to jar the Quaffle loose. Looks like he is actually going to be warded back and sent back to hoops. Near pull attempt here.
Well, Maryland trying to come from behind there. With the snitch having its back to the Seeker.
Quaffle being thrown. It looks like it's Mac Morgan trying to pop back up top. Nice tackle.
Maryland really going hard, trying to pull.
Oh, Maryland got the snitch.
Is that a clean
Maryland
catch?
just pulled. Oh, man.
Is that a clean catch? We have to wait and see.
That's Mac Morgan who just pulled for Maryland. If that is clean, that is a win for the Maryland Terrapins, and they go 4-0.
And into the quarterfinals, handing Texas their first loss here in U.S. Quidditch Cup 12.
And an interesting turn of events where the Quaffle was basically taken out of this snitch on pitch situation completely, which is exactly how you train it. It is called no good. They're going to say he was impeded. It may have been another two-arm grab from Mac Morgan.
It looked like it. It definitely looked like it.
And you know, some Seekers will say that the snitches are sometimes a little too reticent. I'm sorry, a little too ready to call those rules, despite the fact that they actually weren't impeded sometimes. But we've seen Huber get both of his arms around once. I didn't see Mac Morgan's pull because Maryland was about to score. That would have closed the lead down to just a one-goal lead here.
All right, 70-50 your score.
See if Texas actually tries to get into their offense. They're down a beater. Mac Morgan's going to be beat. Oh, nice catch on the part of TK. Setting up the offense well. He's going away from the beaters.
Joey Castellano, the Seeker right now for Texas.
Joey, a kinesiology major at the University of Texas.
Castellano
all about
tried to
fitness.
reach around, lost his footing. Snitch gets a moment, catches breath. Castellano trying to go in with that right hand. Now switching to the left hand. Reach around attempt. And it was right on that hard boundary.
Oh, man, they might call this one a two-handed. They might call this a two-handed attempt. Joey got one arm down, had it still on the snitch's shoulder, and then pulled the snitch.
Right on the edge of that hard boundary.
And if it is called out of bounds, it is no good, although the snitch was towards the out-of-bounds area,
right.
And Joey landed inbounds.
Texas just moments ago thought Maryland may have captured the victory.
Hey,
that's up right now. Texas wins. Wow, what a change. Not only a minute ago, looked like Maryland may be coming away 4-0. Instead, Texas, here in their home state, looking to prove the haters would be the best way to say it. And for Texas, 100-50 victory over Maryland. Well-played game on both sides.
And one thing to say, Brad, we go back to what Texas's motto is this season. Quidditch is not a perfect game. They had 3 pull attempts in the course of this one, lost bludger control a couple of times. Maryland showed them that they were tough as well. Texas showed some grit and grind out here, and that's good to see for a team that in the realm of Quidditch, a lot of people think that they are a program that really thinks they're just already better than a lot of teams and expect them to roll over when they walk in the building. And it's good to see that group of guys and gals down there doing a great job to not only go out there and after preparation, take advantage of it, but on top of that, dominate their opponent physically as well.
Congratulations, Texas, on the 100-50 victory over Maryland. Texas is into the quarterfinals. You're watching the U.S. Quidditch live stream.